I know how to maneuver with my PC, but I cannot. I don't know. I have to learn on my Mac.
If you ever want to, let me know and we can set up a time where we can just kind of do like a practice run or something. So that at least you can ask me like, what I'm seeing and stuff like that. Yeah.
Perfect. Yeah, let's definitely need to do that. Is it, did I do it right?
Yes, you're live streaming. Yep.
Where are you seeing that? Because I don't even see it.
When I'm looking at the Zoom window, in the top left corner, it says live on YouTube on my screen.
Okay. I guess maybe I don't see it on my, all right. Well, welcome. I hope you guys can hear me. Thumbs up if you can hear me. Yes. We're good. Perfect. All right. Awesome. We'll just give it a few minutes and we'll start. All right. Well, we'll get started and I'll let people in as they come in. All right. Well, welcome everyone. Thank you very much for joining my weekly call on how to get your first multifamily investment deal. My name is Annabelle Pacheco. I am a real estate investor and a real estate broker, and I've been in business for 24 years and part of a global company, a global real estate company called eXp Realty. And really the goal for me is to share with you guys each week the steps that I took in purchasing my first multifamily deal. Also, I like to bring in guest speakers from the multifamily space to share with us just, more and just expand our knowledge. And that way you guys can learn and go out and do this for yourselves. I encourage everyone to participate, ask questions. This is a really safe platform. It's just for those that are looking to learn more about multifamily and just connect with other people. I'm not selling anything. I'm not offering anyone anything. I am not a financial advisor. I am just sharing my story with everyone and just pretty much what I've done so far. I've started in my career in the mortgage industry in the mid 90s and purchased over 100 properties throughout my career. We rehabbed and flipped. We did keep some of those units, managed them for some time, but pretty much I was really in the purchase and just like we were flipping, rehabbing and flipping. And in 2001, I deviated a bit from real estate and built a 150 capacity restaurant from ground up and had staff running the restaurant, managers, chefs, servers. And the last 10 years, I have personally focused my business in representing both clients in the residential and commercial real estate. And in 2015, I finally decided to go into multifamily and purchased my first multifamily deal in Grand Prairie, Texas. And really for me at this point, I was looking for a way to create cash flow and just generational wealth. I was kind of done with the fixing and just flipping. And I thought to myself, well, how can I make our money work for us? And here are some of the reasons why I invested in multifamily. And really, I hope it inspires you. And they may be different for you, but these are the ones that really stuck out for me. And number one is, buying multifamily allowed us the opportunity to have cash flow, monthly cash flow. And just in a nutshell, your cash flow is your rental income minus all of your expenses. And number two, I thought, well, how cool can this be that your property, like your tenants are actually paying down your mortgage. And that was something that I thought, you know what, only something like this with so many doors can allow you to do that. And then, the number 3 was really appreciation. Property will appreciate over the long run. You don't buy, you buy cash flow, and you really do hope that in the long run, the property does appreciate. And the way that things have been going in our market, we know that appreciation's definitely been a positive thing for many multifamily owners. And even just any owner of any kind of real estate. Number 4 is tax benefits. For me, it was depreciation, right? Which would allow me to expense a portion of that physical structure each year. And the 1031 exchange, which allows you to defer your capital gain taxes, and there's no limit. You can do this, right? 2, 3, 4, well, as many times as you want, that you find that is like, that makes financial sense for you to 1031 into. So here's a little example of my deal. And when I purchased this deal, it was a value add multifamily deal. And value add is, give me a second. Value add is when, there's an opportunity in a property that you're able to rehab it, increase its rent, and therefore it's going to increase your net operating income. And that's exactly the kind of property that we were able to get ourselves into. So I purchased this property for $850,000. I had $350,000 down payment. And to be honest with you guys, I was ready to apply for your traditional loan to purchase this property. But I knew, this was my first time buying one of these properties, and going through that process was going to be a lot harder. And I thought, I'm going to ask the seller if he would be interested in carrying a note for 2 years. And he did. Give me a second. I'm letting a couple people in. So he became the lender for me. He allowed us really like 2 years to remodel and update the units and increase the rents. So by year 2, I was able to refinance, and the property had already pretty much doubled. And I had done, we had done a lot of work, but not, I wasn't even at 100%, and it had already doubled in value. And at that point, I had a loan for $1 million, and pretty much had gotten all my money out of this deal. And really, to this day, I have all my money out of this deal, and the value of the property is $2.8 million. Any questions so far? Because I know this is a lot. I've talked a lot here. Any questions regarding this? Anyone currently own multifamily more than 10 doors? You guys can put it in the chat if you don't want to. But I just kind of want to know where is everyone that's on this call? Does anyone own multifamily? And if you do, how many doors? Or are you looking to it? Are you in the beginning stages of it? Just kind of let's talk a little bit here before I continue with my presentation. Let's see. All right, so Adam, you have 3 doors. Okay, great. Wow, Jeff, you have 800 doors. Great. Where are they? Where are your 800 doors?
Most of them are in Houston. We just actually sold 200 doors in Amarillo, and then I've got some property in Ohio, Georgia, and Arizona. But a bunch of them are for sale at the moment.
All right, well, let's talk, because I'm in the process of selling this property here, and I'm looking to go into something. I'm doing a 1031 exchange, but I am definitely interested. So maybe you and I can discuss a little bit more. If you're selling something, I might be a buyer for you.
Yeah, the ones I'm selling are pretty small, but certainly I can talk to you about them.
How small are they?
Well, we've got the one that's on. We've got a 20 unit under contract. We got a 36 unit that we're going to be selling. That's in Georgia. The other one is an 8 property portfolio, and we're selling those off one by one. So right now we're selling a couple of singles and a triplex. We've got 2 triplexes already under contract, and there's a
Are
couple
they in
more.
different areas?
No, all the ones in Ohio are right across the street from each other, either next door or across the street. So they could be sold as a package. But right now we have 2 of the 8 already under contract.
Wow. Okay. Do you have anything like 80 doors?
No, not that's going to be for sale at this point.
Got it. Okay. Well, fantastic. Well, that's good. Good to know, and welcome to the call.
Thank you.
All right. Can I mute my iPhone? I'm not sure. My phone is mute. Is it somebody else's, Jess? I'm not sure.
Never mind, it got fixed. Don't worry about it, Annabelle.
All right, thanks. Okay, cool. So we've got a couple. One, you can okay, no worries. Okay, well, listen, I think this right here, whatever information I'm sharing with you guys is information coming from someone that knew I knew I wanted to buy multifamily. I knew the location I was going to buy my multifamily. I'd done my homework. I pretty much studied it. You know, I studied the market. I had a mentor who had purchased out in Dallas, and I knew I wasn't going to reinvent the wheel. I'm going to Dallas. It was now a matter of where in Dallas am I going to purchase my property? And I think that's where the you know, you studying the market and really figuring out what location and where you're going to buy is going to make it a lot easier for you to find that property. So I knew it was Dallas, you know, I could have a 30-40 minute radius from Dallas, and just study the market and make sure that it made sense when I saw it. And this property at $850,000 really was like, I mean, it was a great deal. The property needed a lot of work, and I knew going in that I was prepared to do that. So, so this is just to give you guys a little, an understanding of where I'm at today. Obviously today, now I'm in the process of selling this property. I'm looking to, you know, either double the amount of doors that I have, if I can, if it makes sense, or looking to possibly, you know, retail. I don't know, but I'm in the process, and I'm just kind of sharing with you guys because I think that everyone, you know, people that are out looking for multifamily, it all, at the end of the day, you have to pick an area that you want to go into and then just study that area. And the minute that I mean, it just, you know, they say, oh, you're lucky. Well, no, you're not lucky. Is that you happened to be prepared for that opportunity that came by because you'd been studying the market. And so when that opportunity pops up, you know that it's a good deal. And that's exactly what happened to me. I happened to be out in Dallas, and you know what? I was on, I think I found this on LoopNet, and it just popped up, and I'm like, okay, we need to go see this property. And I took my friend with me who knew the market, and we drove by, and he's like, well, you know, if you don't buy this property, I'll buy it. And I already knew, okay, that means that's a good deal. And I jumped on it. And you know what? I was just very proactive. I spoke to the agent. I've been representing clients on transactions. And I thought, all right, well, you know what? I'm going to put that same training into my own deal. And I just negotiated, and I asked, and I wasn't afraid. And if anything that I can, you know, share with you guys is just don't be afraid. You know what? Just go out there and ask. You never know where the seller's at, or I mean, that's if you're dealing with a seller directly. And I happened to he was an agent who owned the property, and I was an agent who was looking to buy a property. And so we were able to kind of work it out together. So I'm just saying, you know what, don't let anything stop you, just ask. And even if it's not on the listing or whatever it is, just ask. You never know the situation that seller is in, and you might be able to put the deal together, is kind of what I'm saying. All right, any questions so far? All right, so let's talk about, oh, here's just pictures of my property. 24 units, 1 bedroom, 1 bath, building here, and then another building here with 10 doors, 2 bedrooms, 1.5 baths. All right, so today I wanted to talk about how we can create some just added value to your multifamily property. And one of the items would be sub-meter utilities. You know, at the end of the day, tenants don't care when they don't have to pay the electric bill or the gas bill. They don't care. So tenants will leave windows wide open while the heater's blasting in the winter. And I've seen it. I've toured the property. They have the heater blasting in the unit, and these units are not big. I mean, a 1 bedroom and a 2 bedroom, you know, no more. I mean, the 1 bedroom is probably 500 square feet. The 2 bedrooms, maybe 900 square feet. Heater is blasting, they're burning up. What do? They open the front door. And this is common. They'll open the front door and they open the windows and they just let that heat, you know, instead of turning it off. Why? Because they're not paying for it. So sub-meters is actually something really good. Same thing with the toilets, right? You probably, even though you tell them to report if the toilet's running or, you know, if it's not functioning properly, they don't do it. They'll deal with it for a while, and you know what? And there goes your just, you know, water is running. And of course, they're not paying for it. You pay for it. Now, there are ways, and a lot of the water companies, you go online and you're able to see the usage of your water, and you're able to tell if like certain months that it's higher, then you know you have a leak, and somewhere you have a leak. And so it allows you to, at least you can use that as some sort of gauge, and then you can start, you know, figuring out, all right, you send the manager to kind of go and inspect and make sure, check to see how all the toilets are doing or faucets are doing, or just whatever, you know, anything that has to do with water. And then you try to pinpoint, okay, where is that leak coming from, so that you can eventually fix that and save yourself some money, right? You want to save as much money as possible. So number 2 is washer and dryers. This is something that I'm seeing happening a lot right now. A lot of multifamily owners, depending on the properties, one of the amenities that they're doing is adding washer and dryers to the units. And this could potentially reflect a $40 to $75 a month income to you, as you know, as a landlord. So it's not a bad thing if you have the room to put in a washer and a dryer in the units. Okay. It may not work for everybody, but you know, that's an opportunity. And I see a lot of investors that are purchasing, that are coming into the properties and doing that right now. So they're not spending a whole lot of money, but they're putting in the washer and dryer because there's room. LED lighting. This is huge. You know that this will definitely save in the long haul with the LED light bulbs. So highly recommend that if you own your property, you walk through, especially those areas where the lights have to be on, you know, all night, or and even sensor lights. You want to put sensor lights on, and all areas where you have lights that stay on for a long period of time, you want to make sure that it is that they are LED lighting. All right. Number 4. Any questions so far?
Yeah, so I had a question on how you analyze the deal. So how do you, was it being currently rented below market, or what was your process analyzing the deal, making sure it was a good deal, making sure the numbers work and all of that stuff?
So, okay, so when I went in, it was my first, it was my first time buying a property, a multifamily. But just from my experience, number one, we did some local, we visited other local apartment complexes in the area. And this is how I became familiar and understood, the market. I wanted to see those. I basically walked in saying, I wanted to rent a unit. I would get information on rentals, what their pricing was, how many bedrooms, how many square feet, bedrooms, bathrooms, square footage, and the condition of those units. I'd also ask, like if they had vacancies or if they were on a waiting list. All of that information just gave me a clearer picture of, okay, when I saw my property, I knew number one, the condition was terrible. So I knew right there that I had an opportunity here to come in, fix this property and increase the rent. I knew that for sure because his rents were in the 400 a door, whereas outside the competition was 600 plus. So I knew I had a good, there was a good amount of money there where I could come in, fix the property. Now, mind you, I had fixed and flipped properties, single family residences here in California. So I was very familiar with, flipping. And I knew, okay, the cost of going in there, these are small, again, these are not huge units, maybe 500 square feet. I knew, all right, it's going to cost me, I don't know, maybe it was about 5,000 a door. And I was going to be able to increase the rent, maybe $200 a month or $250 a month. So I knew, right, I knew it made sense. I didn't have a formula, back in the day, I did not have a formula. It was just, I knew what the comps in the area, I knew what other apartments in the area were going for. I knew what was included. I knew the condition of the units, and I knew the location. And so I just really compared it to that. And I knew that there was that significant value add opportunity in this property. I hope that makes sense. I don't have actual percentages or numbers for you. It just makes sense.
Okay. Yeah, because currently I was looking at this 20 unit property, and this would be my first time ever looking at a multi-family deal. And I don't necessarily know how to run the numbers properly. Like, I have some formulas, I have some books here and there, I have some people I can ask, but
Right.
I'm trying to get as much info as I can from everyone that's done it before.
I can definitely help you. I've learned through, I've been in this now for the last 6 years, and I've been exposed to a lot of it. And if you'd like, we can definitely get on a call afterwards, and you can share some of those numbers and we can look at it, because you have to, you got to learn to look at your T12s and your rent. You want to look at everything, right? To make that decision, but also understand the market. You got to understand the market. What area is this property in?
This area is in South Texas.
Okay.
Yeah, in McAllen, Texas, to be more specific.
Okay. Hey, listen, I can definitely help you, and if I can connect you with people that can help you as well.
Okay.
So that you can get some more, at least feel a little bit more confident in going in there.
Yeah. Okay.
But yeah, that's great that you're at least, you're doing what I did 6 years ago, right? Like, okay, you're venturing out to purchase, and you have to do your due diligence.
Yeah, I'm just looking to learn as much as I can, to make my due diligence process as flawless, and to make as little mistakes as possible.
Right. Well, and let me tell you though, no matter what, just be prepared for the unexpected, because it's just always going to happen. So there's just there are just things that are out of our control that we have no idea, that you can try to minimize, right? You try to minimize where you possibly can. And And then the rest, you just be prepared, and ready to take care of that problem. But yeah, let's connect. If you'd like, just email me and we can talk, and I can walk you through a little bit
Okay.
more.
Yeah. What would be the best way to email you? What's the email?
Let me put, Jess, can you put my contact info on there for everyone?
Yes, I can.
Awesome, thank you. So you'll have my contact info on the chat, and just feel free to connect with me.
Okay, awesome.
Alrighty, cool. Well, good luck. That sounds, sounds fun. It's definitely a challenge, but it's a fun challenge. And once you do your due diligence and you go through this whole process, and then down the road, right, you see like 6 years later, here's a property that I purchased for 850, and now I'm selling it in, $2.8 million. I mean, that's nice, right? Like you're able to you're like, okay, cool. I want to do this again.
Yeah, definitely.
All right, cool. Let's see here. There's a couple. Vincent, you have 32 doors, or you're looking to purchase 32 doors? Okay, let's see here. Ed Caldera, 15% down, 1 to 8 units, no tax returns, just lease agreements, 30-year fixed rates. So Ed, are you a lender?
Yes, I am. I'm a
Awesome.
lender, and sharing some great news for investors here.
So great. So tell us a little bit about this program.
Yeah, it's what's considered to be a non-QM loan, which is basically it's not a Fannie or a Freddie Mac loan. It's going to be a private institution that's lending out their own funds, and all we need would be lease agreements. So if the lease agreements cover the PITI, the rate is going to be better than if it doesn't cover, but we can still get the loan done, even with 15% down on investment property. It's a great product.
And what's the interest rate on something like this?
So let's say 2 to 4 units, 2 to 4 units, 15% down. The lease agreements or the leases cover the PITI. We're going to be looking at about between a 3.75 and a 4.25, depending on FICO score. So if your FICO is 660, more than likely it's going to be at about 4.5. If your FICO is 740 and above, we should be looking at 3.75 to 4%, which is great. It's amazing.
Hey Ed, can you put your contact info in the chat?
Definitely. Yeah, I'll do that right now.
Yeah, that sounds great. So, I mean, that's a great opportunity for anyone that's looking to purchase right now.
Right. It beats having to put 25 to 30% down.
Exactly. Well, not only that, also Fannie and Freddie, they're very strict. I mean, it's hard. I mean, I'm not gonna lie. I went through it and it's hard. And I'm sure, I mean, I'm not saying that all of these, getting a loan is easy, but I know that Freddie and Fannie, they have a lot more guidelines and even while you have the loan there, they inspect, there's just a lot of stuff that they request and require.
Yeah, and that's primarily the reason why I'm shying away from Freddie Mac is because right now the competition is so stiff that you want to make it as easy as possible for investors to come in, bid on the property, and being able to close within 21 to 30 days. With Fannie Mae or Freddie Mac, it's taking anywhere between 45 to 60.
Yeah.
And it's just a whole lot more complicated. So
it is.
And I'm just happy to be in the place where I'm at right now.
Cool. So yeah, make sure you post your information there for everyone.
Sure.
Awesome.
Sure will.
Fantastic. Any other questions before I continue? This is good. I love it. Thank you guys for sharing and just jumping in and putting information. That's really the whole purpose of all this. You know what? This is just a platform. I don't have all the answers. You know what? I have my experiences and what I've gone through, but I'm sure many of you here have other stuff that just, we can all put in a little bit and create something big. So this is awesome. Fantastic. So let's continue here. Vending machines is another way of adding or just creating value to your property. Number one would be, you want to look to see a common area. If, again, not all properties, you can do this, but some of them you can't. You can add vending machines for drinks and snacks, if you have a gym area or anywhere around a pool, if you happen to have a pool, right? Why? Because people go out there and you know what, it's hot. They're not going to want to walk back to their room. And it's likely that they'll just buy water, they'll buy a soda, they'll buy a snack because it's right there for them. The other thing is in like your laundry rooms, there is vending machines that have like household essentials for them. For example, like maybe a single serving of detergent, a stain remover, a fabric softener, just whatever it is that you need, that it's there available so that they don't have to walk back to their unit to go get it. And this is just, it's easy and it's there. And really, and the best part is that you don't have to buy any of the stuff. These machines, usually these companies will provide the service. They'll maintain the machines, they'll make sure that it's stocked, and they'll either do a contract with you for X amount of years and they keep a percentage of it. And then they just send you a check or, whatever it is that you produced during that month. And I mean, it's just, again, we're just trying to maximize, how can you increase your income on your property? What can you do that that that'll be beneficial to the tenants? So it's just looking at all of these opportunities. And then this is a big one: garage parking and prime parking. So many times there are complexes that have garage parking, and many times you either get one or two, depending on the size of unit that you are renting. And so what you can do is, if they have an additional car, you can charge them additional parking a month, right, for that additional car. And or gives you an opportunity, like if you have an area where maybe you can create additional parking with, like, let's say carports, maybe they're not going to pay the, I don't know, $50 a month parking structure fee, but you can now charge them $30, right, for a carport parking. People will pay for it, and people will pay for prime parking. Like if they want a particular spot that's really close to their door, and you offer that reserved premium parking for rent, you can charge. And really, you'd be surprised, but people are very, very willing to pay for that.
Hey, Annabelle, it's Vincent.
Yeah.
I just had a quick question with the prime parking. How much do you typically charge, or do you add it to the rent?
No, it's in addition to
parking.
the rent. It's in addition to the rent. Again, it depends on your property. Like we charge $45 for the reserved parking. And that's
Gotcha.
in addition to the rent.
You must have some good tenants in there.
They want the spot. They don't want to have to deal with trying to find parking. They want to know that when they get home, they drive right to their spot.
Interesting.
And,
okay.
And it's, yeah.
All right, thank you.
You're welcome. It works. I mean, this is just, you know what? I'm just throwing out there ideas and different things that will help you generate additional income. And sometimes, you know what, you just have to try it and you'll see. If let's say that, $45 was too much, they would have said no. And you know what, then you reduce the price. But we knew we were like, okay, fine, they want it, this is what it's going to be. And they were, okay, we'll do it, we'll pay for it. All right, so renovations for sure is a great way to add major value to your property. And as I mentioned, when we purchased these apartments, they needed work. And we knew going in that the renovations that we were going to do, these were total renovations. So just to give you guys an idea, we did like flooring, new cabinets in the kitchen, new cabinets in the bathroom. Walls were like, you know, new, oh my goodness, what do you call the finish on the wall? Oh my gosh, I forgot the word of the, like that, the coat. You guys know what I'm talking about? Can someone help me here? Just the finish on the walls. We made sure that that got done properly so that when we painted it, it looked nice and clean. What else did we do? New toilets, new bathtubs, new tile, new light fixtures, new door handles. I mean, we went in there and rehabbed the entire unit. And when we were done, we knew that we would be able to get top dollars on this. I mean, we'd be able to get top rent for those properties. So renovations is definitely a major add value to your property. And then, oh, this is also something that's been really great, trash pickup service. You know, you'll find that there's older people in the apartments that don't want to have to walk to the trash can to throw their trash out. And so what you can offer, I mean, we have a full-time maintenance man on the property. So what you can offer is the service of taking their trash out to the dumpsters. So you come to some sort of an agreement if you're going to do that, you know, weekly, pick the date, and then every Friday or every Monday, whatever day it is, you know, we have our handyman go by those certain people that actually don't want to take their trash, actually take the trash to the dumpster, and we're able to charge an additional $20 a month. One, it's a service that you're providing to the tenants, right? Some of them like it, some of them don't need it, but at least you're offering them that. And I think that it's just, you know, it's just an opportunity there where you're helping your tenants. Someone's going to do this for them, and what they're paying on a monthly basis is really not that bad. So if you think about it, it's like what, $5 a week for someone to come by and pick up their trash, and they don't have to deal with taking the trash.
Really? Nonsense.
Yeah. So so you just have to be creative. You have to think outside the box sometimes. You got to come up with, you know, some crazy things there that you know that people will want to jump on it or will be okay with paying the additional money. And at the end of the day, you know what, if 1, 2, 3, or 4 people do this, or 10 people do this, you know, it adds up. It adds up. So I'm going to stop sharing here. Well, okay, couple more. So the other thing is pet rent. I personally, because I'm out of state, I didn't want, you know, I don't live there. I'm not there. We chose not to have pets. At the beginning we did, and they just weren't taking care of it. And, you know, they had big dogs, and these properties are not big for big dogs. And it was just really, I didn't like it. It got really dirty. And we just chose to not, we weren't okay with pets. So, but if you are okay with pets, that's an additional minimum $100 a month for a pet that you guys could create and generate some additional money there, right? And it's, again, you're adding major value to the property. And storage units, this is something really, really great. I had, you know, I have an additional piece of land there in my property that at one point I was considering doing this, and it's just, you know what, for the sake of time and the whole thing, I never got to it, but that was my goal. And it was really to create storage units. And I have spoken to other multifamily operators that have this. And to be honest with you, it works great, because a lot of these people that move into a 1-bedroom or a 2-bedroom have a lot of stuff, and they don't have the space or the room, right, to put their stuff in. And if you are able to create some sort of like a storage area, and this is, I mean, we're not talking like a massive garage, but we're just talking like, 15 square foot or 30 square foot storage, charge anywhere from $19, $20 to $30, $40. People will pay, and people will want to store their stuff into these storage units and get them out of their house, because sometimes they'll keep them in their living room. And I can only tell you this because I've walked through and I've seen it, and they'll have it right in their family room in a little corner. They have stuff that they can't get, they just don't have the room to store anywhere else. So really, these are some great ideas for increasing and just adding some major value and increasing your net operating income on the property. So let me stop sharing here, and if anyone has any questions or anything they want to share, or anything that I spoke about that maybe you guys didn't understand, this is a good time to just ask your questions. Anything?
Hello, Annabelle. This is Vincent again. I may
Vincent.
have missed this earlier. When you were talking about the washers and dryers, was that into each unit or was that just for the building?
Yeah, no, that's into each unit.
Okay.
I mean, that's only if the unit allows, right? Some apartments you just can't get it in there. The space is too small. But I've spoken to quite a few. I have quite a few operators that have purchased properties, and the only value add that they've done right now is washer and dryer in the units, and it's gone up tremendously, and they love it. People love it.
Okay, great.
Mm-hmm.
I can vouch for that, as well as my business partner, who both lived in Los Angeles and had to trek a bag of coins along with very large bags of dirty clothes up and down flights of stairs over and over. So
yeah, so it's not easy.
Yeah.
And what if you forgot, what if you forgot your detergent, or what if you forgot something, right? You have to go back and get it. And I think a lot of these things are just there for, if it's not going to cost you, my thing is, if it's not going to cost me a whole lot of money, there's an opportunity there to gain some additional income. Why not?
Right.
Make it easier for the tenant. The tenant's happy, and everyone wins.
Perfect. Thank you.
You're welcome. Anybody else? So Alan is asking if anyone is willing to help him analyze his deal, and he put his email in there. And Alan, we can definitely talk. So feel free to email me as well. But if anybody else is willing to help out Alan, that'd be great. I mean, I'm sure we've all been there, right? And it's nice if someone can help out. But I mean, Alan, I'm definitely available. Feel free to reach out to me.
Is it okay if we ask what kind of deal it is?
Yeah, what kind of deal is it, Alan? Is this a 20
So
deal?
this is a 20-unit apartment complex.
Okay. It's in Texas.
How far are you along in the process?
Me, I'm just analyzing the deal. Just spoke to the seller. Just wanted to see how much he was asking. And right now, I have yet to make an offer. I just want to know how much to offer. Basically, I want to get more informed as like the numbers and all that, and how to do that.
So Alan, is this an off-market deal? You're dealing directly with the owner?
The seller told me that he had it with a realtor. I searched online. I looked up the property online. Nothing came up. And then I drove by the property. There was no sign out there. So I'm not 100% sure, what the situation is there.
Mm-hmm.
I would just need to clarify that with the seller.
Okay. All right. Did you put your phone number on the chat?
Yeah, I can.
Okay. All right. Well, I mean, we could definitely look at that. All right, any other questions? Everybody good? Let me make sure I'm not missing anything here. All right, very good. Okay, let me write 210. Alan, are you in Texas?
Yes.
Okay. Perfect.
Hey,
All right,
Annabelle,
guys.
after this is done, do you have about 5 or 10 minutes to chat?
You know, I have a call at 3, but
Uh-huh.
we can chat maybe like at 4 my time.
That works. I'll email you, and then we can coordinate a time.
That'd be perfect. Yes, Vincent, that'd be great.
Okay, thank you.
All right, no, you're welcome. Thank you, guys. All right, there's no other questions. I think, I mean, I pretty much went over all my value add stuff for you guys today. You can all use, and let's see here. I think we're good. Yeah, well, guys, I thank you for joining me today. This is a weekly call that I do. It's every Wednesday, 2 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. I like I mentioned at the beginning, at times I will have guests come on and just share more about multifamily space. I have a gentleman next week who will share a specific deal that he's working on, and he is looking for help, whether it be I think it's, you know, he's looking for some investors and just looking for additional help with the deal. And I told him to just, you know, come on the call and share it with the group. So I urge you guys come back next week and let's learn some more. And if you guys need anything from me, feel free to connect with me via email, or my contact info is there on the chat. And I look forward to seeing you guys next week. All right, take care and thank you very much. Have a great day.
Annabelle. Have a nice day.
All right, thank you. Take care.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thanks.
Take
Hey, William.
care.
How are
Hi.
you?
Okay.
Good,
Hi,
good.
Mom. I'll call you. I'll text you.
Okay, sounds good. Thanks, guys. Take care.